Welcome back to another Porsche Car Whisperer video. This week I'm going to be doing another requested video. Shout out to you, Sanjiv, on how do you optimize your charging planner as well as the battery friendly function for the new model year 2021 on your Taycan, and how do you get the most out of your long distance trips. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what is the charging planner anyways, and why do you have it on your Taycan? Well, it's actually something that's standard on all of the Taycans, and it helps big time. So it actually will tell you where you need to stop if you're going on a long destination trip, and it will also preheat or pre-cool your battery as you're approaching and getting to that charging station. Because if it doesn't preheat or pre-cool, your Taycan's going to charge a lot slower. So with the charging planner, it works fantastically. Now we have some new features that we added for model year 2021. So let's go ahead and dive into the PCM and see what those are. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my destination. I'm just going to say that I want to go to the Golden Gate Bridge. Now that's probably about almost 500 miles from where I'm at currently. So I'm definitely going to have to make a stop before I end up getting there. So Golden Gate Bridge. It's always a good spot. So it's going to search. Now I'm going to select my destination that I want.
The route is being calculated.
It's calculating my route to the Golden Gate Bridge. It's just going to take it a moment. It's currently saying it's 7 hours, 443 miles. Up here in the upper right, it's actually going through and it's going to tell me how many stops I need to make based on my current settings.
The route was changed so that the destination could be reached.
Awesome.
Necessary quick charging stations were added.
So as you can see here, they've changed this for model year 2021. It makes it really easy. If there's any traffic incidents, they will pop up here. It's also telling us the charging stations. So there's HPC charging stations, which is high power charging stations. There's also going to be DC charging stations. So you'll see those pop up here, and it will tell us where we need to stop and for how long we need to stop. For model year 2020, at each stop, the car would automatically charge all the way up to 80%. That is no longer for model year 2021. So how do we change these settings? Because here it says that we're going to get there at 10%. Now, if I was to switch this to range mode, that's going to automatically change these items. We don't have to be at each charging station as long. It's telling me now that I'm going to be arrive at my destination with 19%. Now there's one caveat to that, because if I'm in range mode, it's going to limit my speed. It says right here on the instrument cluster, max 60 miles an hour range. But I want to go fast. This is a Porsche. I don't want to go slow. So I'm going to put it back into normal. Now, I don't want it to be at 10%, because let's say that I was going way out into the wilderness and I'm at 10%, but then I still have to leave and get out of the wilderness. I'm never going to make it. I'm going to be a sitting duck. So how do you change that? Well, with model year 2021, you can change it. So I'm going to go into here, these three little dots. I select that. I'm going to go here to the top and click Route Options. Now, this is where you can change all the routes. You can avoid toll roads and do all those items. I'm not talking about that today. Porsche Charging Planner, that is on. You can turn that off. I don't know why you'd want to turn that off, but we're keeping that on because, like I said, that pre-cools the battery, tells us where we need to stop. We can also prioritize Porsche charging stations. Now, here in the United States, we have 3 years up to 30 minutes of free charging through Electrify America. So you're going to want to have that on, because if not, you're just going to be going to charging stations or any old charging station that may charge you. Now, that may happen anyways. It may default if we're going to a very remote location where the Electrify America charging station isn't there yet. It may have us use a third-party charging station anyways, but I recommend keeping that on because you're going to get free charging unless you go over that 30-minute section, which if you see on our route, I'll go back. None of those stops were more than there for 30 minutes, so it's fantastic. Anyways, let's say we don't want to get to Golden Gate Bridge at 10%. We want to get there at 65% because we know there's no charging stations around that particular location we're stopping. We need to get out of there. So instead of set minimum charge at destination automatically, I'm going to deselect that.
The route is being calculated.
And I don't want 51. I want it to go up to 65. Now, you can go from 3% all the way up to 90%. So whichever you prefer, just however much you want.
So that the destination could be reached.
However much you want.
Quick charging stations were added.
However much you want when you get to that location. So let's say the Golden Gate Bridge is in the wilderness, so there's no chargers. So we need it 65. So it's going to recalculate us. So before we had 3 stops, we had several different times that we were going to stop. Probably going to stop for longer now. It's going to take us just a little bit longer to get there.
The route was changed so that the destination could be reached.
Awesome.
Necessary quick charging stations were added.
So there's still 3 charging stations, and here it's telling us we're going to arrive at the Golden Gate Bridge with 64%, excuse me. We're not going to get there until tomorrow, 5:35 a.m. That's pretty early. Now, if I want to get more information, again, you can see your traffic incidents here. You can also select these, and you can see how many percent are we going to be when we get to that particular charger, and how many percent we're going to charge up to. Again, 21 with 20, it would go to 80. And for model year 20, it would go to 80. Now it's just going to take us until we can move on so we can get there faster. So I'm going to go from 8% to 55% at that particular charging station. And then I'm going to continue on. That's only 45 miles from here. It's going to take me 55 minutes to get there. The next charging station is another HPC. 16 minutes. I'm only going to be there for 16 minutes. When I get there, I'm going to be at 12%. I'm going to charge all the way to 65%. So this is a very, very helpful feature because it'll preheat and pre-cool your battery. It will also tell us when and where we need to stop and for how long. So it's very, very optimized, and it does a fantastic job at doing that. So another part of this video was going to be, if we're at a really high power charging station, how do we turn on this thing called battery friendly function? That's brand new for model year 2021 as well. So let me show you. We're going to go right in here. We're going to go to the home screen. Down here it says charging. I'm going to select charging. Down here in the bottom right hand corner, there's going to be 3 little dots. I'm going to go and select those 3 little dots. Those are our options for charging. Now there's something called activate, plug and charge. That's new for model year 2021. Not talking about that on this video, but I would highly recommend turning that on. Here's the battery friendly quick charging function. So what does it do? Well, Taycan can charge to a rate of up to 270 kilowatts an hour, which is ridiculously fast. There's no other electric vehicle on the market that can charge that fast. But charging that fast hurts the longevity of the battery. It doesn't help the battery stay better for longer over the long term. Just because if it's charging really fast, the battery's getting hot, it's going to degrade faster. So with this battery-friendly quick charging function, it'll actually limit your rate of charge. Even if you're at a very high-powered charging station that's above 200 kilowatts, it'll limit it to 200 kilowatts. It may take a little bit longer to charge, but 2 benefits. It's going to help your battery last longer, and it's also going to not get your battery quite as hot, because when it gets hot, kind of like a cell phone, when it sits out in the sun for a long time, all of a sudden it'll say, cannot use cool down. Well, it's kind of the same thing with the Taycan. It will lose some of its performance when that happens. I highly, highly recommend turning on the battery-friendly function, as it is amazing for your battery and new for model year 2021. That pretty much wraps up today's video. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Or if you have any suggestions for videos, please leave that down in the comments below as well, as I'm working on a lot of suggestions for videos. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching the videos and all the support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. A lot of requested videos at the moment. Whatever.